It's Greg's Garage time, and in this show, we'll give you an inside look at Honda's latest motorcycle shocker, the Grom. We head to Rome, Georgia to test Suzuki's King Quad 750. AMA Superbike champ Josh Hayes is back to give us a round 2 preview.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting out there and getting back to work and doing what I do. It's a great track for me. It's always one of my favorite tracks on the schedule.
We tag along for the always popular Ride for Kids event, talk some news, worldwide video, and motorcycle slang. That's what's going on right now. And what's up with you? I'm Greg White, the host of this web-based power sports lifestyle show, and you're in my garage. And on this show, we bring you some stories from the industry, interviews with top racers, industry experts. We test motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, and more. Show you some videos from around the web, and of course, we have news. So let's get started. All right, we'll roll with some cruiser news from Suzuki. It was revealed that the Boulevard line is getting some new models. The Boss lineup comes to the C50, C90, and M109 with black and marble Daytona yellow. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you gotta have this one. The motorcycles basically remain unchanged, but the blackout stuff, in my opinion, is pretty cool. More information is available at www.suzukicycles.com. All these links can be found on the show tab of gregsgaragetv.com, show number 7. The American Motorcyclists Association is warning riders in Wisconsin about E15 fuel. E15 is a blend of 15% ethanol and 85% gasoline. The EPA has approved it for use in passenger vehicles from like 2001 and newer, but it is not approved for use in motorcycles, ATVs, boats, lawnmowers, etc. Some say that using E15 can damage engines and void warranties. Now, I don't know about all that, but I wanted to pass on the word. AmericanMotorcyclist.com has the scoop. A reminder, coming up Monday, June 17th, Ride to Work Day. Now, this is our chance to show just how many motorcycle riders there are out there. Plan ahead for helmet head if you're worried about that. Get your gear on and ride to work. Now, Ride to Work used to be held on the 3rd Wednesday of July since I think around 2001. But it was changed to the 3rd Monday in June because of world climate concerns. So June 17th, put it in your calendars. Now, the Motorcycle Safety Foundation here in the US has put out its 3rd iBook. It's called Rider Choices. The book, which starts with a quick video, is a resource for prospective or new riders. It covers topics like what you need to know about motorcycling, what you can do to get started, avoiding unsafe riding habits, motorcycle maintenance, and more. The book is 32 pages and goes for only 99 cents in the iBook store on your iPad or iPhone. And I like it a lot. And finally, a few days ago, American Honda announced it would bring into the United States the Taiwanese-built MSX 125 as the Grom. This is a street-legal motorcycle with some unique features. I was in California the other day, stopped by American Honda, and got more details.
The Grom is all about fun. It's all about a new entry point to the motorcycle segment or motorcycle market. It's a 125cc 4-stroke, fuel injected, cool looks, inverted forks, 12-inch wheels, front and rear disc brakes. All of that adds up to fun. The Honda Grom is coming to the United States because there's a need for that maybe entry point a little below the 250 segment. You got a lot of guys out there and girls that are riding scooters. You've got a lot of older riders that want something fun for just around town. But you also have a lot of young kids that aren't even into motorcycles, may not even know they're into motorcycles yet, and this is the exact bike for them. The seat height on the Grom is 29 inches high, so it's very similar to a CBR 250. When you sit on it, it may look like a small motorcycle, but it's not. It's actually a full-size bike when you sit on it. The 12-inch wheels kind of give it that small look, but when you put it side by side with a full-size bike like our new CB500 or the CBR 250, the bike actually sits pretty close to what those sit at for seat height and also physical size. The Honda Grom was announced here in the United States on May 14th, and it's been a big hit. And how we know that is we do kind of a flash report. We check with dealers and we check internet sites, and as of today, we already had 45 deposits on this bike across the country at Honda dealers. And I really, truly believe this bike is going to be a huge hit, not just to the new entry-level people, but to a lot of people like you and I, Greg. This thing is just going to be pure fun. Actually, the Grom video that you're talking about was filmed here in downtown. It was filmed in the Fashion District, and quite honestly, we had to do a lot of arm twisting with our legal side of it. That close course kind of gymkhana feel. If you see some of the stuff that they've done in Thailand and they've done in Europe, we kind of followed that same suit with maybe more of a close course feel. But it's a little edgy, and I think it will probably get attention of a lot of different people out there. Grom will be available in the United States starting August of 2013 this year, and man, get your deposits down quick because they're going to go fast.
The Grom looks very, very cool. It uses the engine from the Honda Wave 125, so there's already all kinds of great aftermarket mods for it, including a 150cc kit. And coming in at a price of under $3 grand, I know I want to have one. And if someone comes up with a racing series, ooh boy. Anyway, since you just saw the Grom video, we'll stay on that topic with worldwide video. How about we get you in the mood with a little sideways sliding from our good friend Thunder at Thunder Media. 10 months ago, he posted this cool video with Daytona winner Josh Herrin and multi-time AMA Pro champ Aaron Yates. The Ducati Monster is 20 years new, and some owners went on a couple-day adventure to celebrate, and Ducati made this from that.
In my life I've had like so many different bikes. Started when I was 16 and had cruisers and sport bikes, and I just kind of wanted something in between. I've always wanted a Ducati.
This is the first time I've been with other Monsters, and that's been amazing because, you know, the Monster has a very unique sound, and there it is. And then the weather was perfect for this ride, so it was like everything came together. It's been the coolest ride I've ever been on.
I'm really excited about getting out on Laguna Seca because it's a legendary track. I've watched the races for years. There's nothing like stepping on a track and then riding it, so that's pretty incredible.
Amy Hood is rolling deep in motocross this year, and MotorcycleSuperstore.com is documenting the entire thing. This is highlights from her recent Hangtown pit adventure.
Well, it looks like I'm not the only person who's late. Looks like Tavin is right in front of me. I think you're late.
We're killing it, trying to cut the line right now.
Yeah, everybody is. Oh, there's
I'm out here every weekend because it's what I've done since I was a little kid, and I love it. And just like everybody else that's here, I mean, we're here because we love coming to the dirt bike track and getting all nasty.
I love it. I love the fans. I love the atmosphere.
Goodbye, baby. Yes, I'm going. Yes, I'm going. Goodbye, baby. Yes, I'm going. Yes, I'm going.
Roland Sands was a great motorcycle racer in his day. He knows performance, and he has an artist's eye for creating new and unique motorcycles. Roland and BMW Motorrad teamed up to revive an iconic BMW motorcycle, the 90.
The R90S is an icon. It comes actually from a time where bikers were rebels. It's a cool bike from the 70s, and the bike has a real great soul. It was the first bike which had a designer working on it, and we decided to bring out this old jewel and recut it in a way that nobody expected from BMW Motorrad. We were looking for a partner with the right spirit and knowledge how to build a high-performance bike, and we found him, actually in California.
I grew up in Long Beach in Southern California, and I think that the culture I was surrounded with has a big influence on me today. Motorcycles are a huge part of my life. It's really how I express who I am and what I'm about. It seems that no matter what I look at, it has an influence. And when BMW approached us to do the R90S homage project, I was really excited about it, but at the same time I was also very curious as to where we would start and where they wanted us to finish up.
I want one of those. Anyway, Forrest Gump once opined that he and Jenny were like peas and carrots. Well, he could have said he and Jenny were like motorcycles and girls and calendars. We'll have to see what June brings us, so anyway. I told you a few months ago that Greg's Garage is all about power sports, and part of power sports is ATVs. I took a drive down the 85 to Georgia and got to flog the Suzuki King Quad 750, and here's what happened. from the company that started it all, Suzuki. We have the big boy of their ATV lineup. The KingQuad 750 comes equipped with the 722cc engine. It's fuel injected and housed around a high tensile strength steel frame. Now that power plant delivers great low and mid-range torque for awesome performance, matched with a CVT tranny, which Suzuki calls Quadmatic, for easy shifting. The 750 also comes with independent rear suspension and locking front differential. There's handlebar mounted push button controls for easy shifting between two-wheel, four-wheel drives and that locking differential. An easy to read LCD instrument cluster with speed, twin trip, fuel gauge and more. The 4.6 gallon tank sits below the seat for a lower center of gravity and better handling. But it still has plenty of clearance for work and play. And it also comes with an option of power steering, which helps get you over all kinds of big and small obstacles alike. Boom, boom, boom. There it is, the Suzuki King Quad 4x4 750 AXI with power steering. Oh my aching head, what an awesome ATV this thing is. The power is phenomenal. I mean, you just whack the throttle and this thing wants to come alive and get up and roll. And for being a 750, it's really, you know, agile, going through the really tight stuff. But the power steering, oh man, I'm telling you, I got to ride both with and without power steering, and it just adds so much. When you go over the big logs or the big rocks and the handlebars want to snap in your hand, the power steering really helps to keep all that under control, and so it's really confidence inspiring. As a utility vehicle, obviously it has plenty of power. You can get a lot of stuff on this thing. You can tow a lot. It has push four-wheel drive with a diff lock as well, so you can get on the thing and do what you need. It has dry storage, 12 volt. I mean, it has the deep footwells with the foot pegs that are kind of like a motorcycle, so when you're in the tight stuff, you can get up, move your body around. But of course, I love the way it shifts. I mean, it's such a smooth action, and it's on the left side. So the left side is really good because you have your right hand on the bar, control the throttle, and when you stop, you want to put it in reverse, which is very smooth, no problem. Just do that, and then you're right back on the gas, so you can do things very quickly. And if you decide you want to use it more sport, like I said, plenty of power, a lot of fun, very agile, has independent suspension, so it handles all kinds of terrain very well. The full digital instrument cluster is great. And how about this little feature? It's an aux light, so when you're riding around in the dark, this light will actually light the trail as when you're turning the bars, and that is pretty cool. Also, I like the brakes. You get really good feeling with the brakes on this particular ATV. So if you're getting in some stuff that's getting tight and it's even a little slippery, you can start to feel if you're gonna lock the brakes up or not. You just modulate them, and it's so well balanced, especially with that independent suspension. Get down to your Suzuki dealer, check out the 750. The King Quad is a very well-balanced ATV, a lot of power, a lot of fun. Whether you're on the ranch and you need to work and you need a utility vehicle, or you want to take this thing out on the trails for some sport riding, it is well worth a look. So go check it out. I don't have any time to talk anymore. I gotta get back on this thing and ride because daylight is running out and this is too much fun. Stick around on Greg's Garage. You know what was interesting about the King Quad? I actually had a hand in the assembly of that massive four-wheel fun, and on the next show, we'll show you how my day on the assembly line at Suzuki's Rome, Georgia plant, or SMAC, went. It was kind of fun, kinda. But now for another kind of fun, we welcome back AMA Pro Superbike champ Josh Hayes to the show. Hi, Josh.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Life's good. Getting ready to go racing.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The weekend coming up, Road America, round 2. Let's talk predictions. Let's talk Superbike. What's going to happen?
I don't know,
Tell
man.
us. Come on, you can predict the future.
Yeah.
I
I don't know, man. Last year was pretty incredible year. I had some pretty big gaps for the races. I was able to get big gaps on the first lap. Things are going to be a little bit different this year. We have a different rear tire than what we ran last year, going to the US Dunlop rear tires, and we've yet to see how they're going to measure up. You know, usually we've done a little bit more racing by this time of the season, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting out there and getting back to work and doing what I do. It's a great track for me. It's always one of my favorite tracks on the schedule, and somewhere that no matter what's going on, I seem to get back up to speed pretty quickly when I show up at that track.
You've had 2.5 months to digest Daytona. How's your mindset going into the weekend?
You know, I've gotten to ride a motorcycle a little bit. We did get to go test a little bit and ride the Superbike some, and I felt really good when I got on the motorcycle. So I'm just anxious more than anything. It's been a long time off. I've been working on my fitness, and quite honestly, through cycling and playing tennis, I took my fitness to a whole nother level. I feel amazing, and like I've worked hard like a professional. So I'm really excited to get out there, and you know, it's going to be tough. They've kind of let us know that it doesn't look like they're going to add any races to the schedule at the end of the year. So I have a lot of work to do if I want to get myself back in the show. So I'm just going to focus on me and my stuff and let those guys focus on each other for a little while.
All right. Does anything take away from your focus? Specifically, what I'm asking about is last week there were some comments in the news made by Mat Mladin, former Superbike champ 7 times, about possibly coming back to the series. Now, when you finally got on a Superbike, you finally got to race Matt only a couple races, and then he departed. That was kind of something that weighed on your mind, wasn't it?
Well, you know, it's the only disturbing thing really about it is, you know, and I say disturbing, it's a little bit of a bummer when the guy says, hey, listen, I wasn't even that into racing in 2009, you know. But otherwise, you know, I know he didn't like losing. The guy just didn't, he didn't function that way. And he tried hard, or else he wouldn't have thrown one down the road at New Jersey at the end of the year. So I got to race Mat Mladin, and that's great. I think that it really doesn't matter what you do. You spend 3 years away from a sport, coming back's going to be tough. You're not going to come back better than you were 3 years ago when you were at the top of your game. So, and there's still a lot of ifs and buts. I think that's more of the press really kind of pushing buttons, trying to see if, you know, what there is out there. But, you know, the second fastest rider in our paddock for the last 2 years ended up without a job. And so, you know, even a rider of Matt's stature to get on the bike that he wants and show up and come back and be competitive right off the bat, I think would be really tough. You know, I've had my feet in it pretty deep here for the last 3 years, and things are going well for me. So it would be a lot of fun, though. I love racing. I think he's a great competitor. I've learned so much from him that, you know, I attribute a lot of the things that I try to go out and do in my approach to racing. I learned a lot of those things from him. So it would be cool, though.
All right. Well, at least we got that out of the way. Do you follow any of the other classes at AMA Pro Racing during the weekend?
You know, of course, I follow Daytona Sport Bikes somewhat because my wife's out there, you know, so I'm watching Melissa ride around in there. I know a few of the kids in Super Sport, but I don't actually get to watch very many of the races. I'm usually pretty head down and focused on what I've got to do, but it's hard for me not to watch you know, the Daytona Sport Bike with Melissa out there. So,
what do you think we can expect for Daytona Sport Bike at Road America? Your opinion?
You know, I'm really having, when I look at the field out there, I think there's a lot of great riders. But right now, I really think that Cameron Beaubier kind of stands head and shoulders above all the rest. And man, I get to see the kid in testing and how he goes out and the work that he's doing, and the kid's impressive. He reminds me a lot of the old days of Nicky Hayden. You know, I see a lot of that in Cameron, and but probably a little bit more refined as a rider. I think he's so smooth and relaxed looking on the motorcycle. It's really cool. I've even gotten to ride around in testing with him, you know, follow him around on the Superbike when he's on the 600 and stuff, and man, the kid sure looks good on a motorcycle.
Where can we find AMA Pro Racing on television?
Well, sounds like there's a new TV deal. Things are going to be on CBS Sports. Other than that, I know about as much as you guys know from reading it on the internet.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us here on Greg's Garage. I certainly appreciate it. And great luck this weekend at Road America. We look forward to hearing more about the weekend a little bit later on. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. You know, well, over the years, Josh and I have participated in our share of charity rides. Remember the True Grits 50cc Fun Run?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. But one that has a major impact on the world was right here in North Carolina recently, and it's called the Ride for Kids.
So it's the Ride for Kids. It's all over the country, and the Ride for Kids raise money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, which is great. And it's also great to see, you know, the big burly biker guys next to these little kids just hugging on them. It's great, man.
Well, today our founders, Mike and Diane Trainer, were motorcyclists, and 30 years ago, this is our 30th year, we've been doing the Ride for Kids. He held the first Ride for Kids event because he wanted to gather motorcyclists together and to show people they can do something positive. So we're here today with a bunch of motorcyclists, we have a bunch of patient families, we have live music, and it's basically a party. We're out here today, we're going to be rolling out a little later on. We're going to tell people about brain tumors and about research and let them meet the families. So all these motorcyclists who leave here today are really going to know what goes on and how this disease impacts these people.
Since 1984, when the Ride for Kids began, they've raised over $70 million. 2013 marks the 30th year the ride has been going on. Ride for Kids is a national series of events and has become the largest non-governmental funder of pediatric brain tumor research. But it's not all about the numbers. It's also about riding. So, off to a cruise for about 2 hours. Then it's back to where the ride began.
Right now we're getting ready to have our lunch, and we're going to have the group, and we're going to hear from the doctors and some parents. And the route's just around the area here locally. Not too familiar since I don't live around here, but it's very pretty country, and we have police escorts, and they're on bikes, so that makes it great.
What is it about motorcycle enthusiasts that make them so generous?
I don't know. I think we just all got big hearts. We're all out there together. And some of us are cancer survivors ourselves, so this means a lot to us, and we just love to help.
You know what? I mean, I don't know that there's a better group of people, regardless of who they're helping. You know, they just want to help. They love riding bikes. They have hearts of gold, and for me, just the best group of people in need, whether it's somebody you know or somebody you don't know, they're always there to help.
I think most of the people that ride bikes have big hearts. You know, I think it's a big heart thing. Bikers just love to get together to do something for somebody. If they can come up with a good cause, they're in there. You know, it's just a brotherhood, more or less. That we find a cause that fits our need, or we find a place in this community that needs something, we're there for it, you know. And that's what our club's all about too. We're a service club. We raise money for this every year.
If you're thinking about joining a Ride for Kids ride in your area, because they're going on all summer, but you're on the fence, how about some advice?
What I would tell you is you're going to meet these families that will last in your heart for the rest of your life. I guarantee you. There's a reason why you're watching this right now, I think. So you come, you ride, meet these families, and it'll change you, I promise.
Well, that they should do it because it's because they might be helping a kid in need, and it's just good to help somebody less fortunate than you.
You can find out more information about Ride for Kids and the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation at curethekids.org. There's a link for Ride for Kids. They ride in over 40 cities, so start raising funds and having a good time on your motorcycle now. So far this year, Ride for Kids has raised over $1.2 million with a goal of 3.7, so let's get on it. We move on to that part of the show that we call motorcycle slang. Information of words or phrases used in the world of motorcycling. It's to educate new riders and make others comfortable with slang used in and around the sport. And this time we tackle OEM, stock, and aftermarket. OEM, that stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer. So basically it's Harley-Davidson, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha, KTM, BMW, etc. So if people are talking about OEM parts, they're talking about parts that you can buy from the manufacturer. Now stock basically means the way it came from the OEM. It can be referred to as like the configuration of the motorcycle, ATV, watercraft, whatever. So you would say that's a stock pipe, or those are stock bags that came with the motorcycle. Now the other side of that is the aftermarket. That refers to something purchased from a non-OEM company. Say you replaced your saddle with a Saddleman seat, or replaced your grips with Renthal grips, or maybe your windscreen with a tinted one. They would all be aftermarket parts. I hope that all made sense. If you have any questions about that or any other stuff, just shoot me a message at show@gregsgaragetv.com. Would you like to see something on the show? Send a message. We're banking all your great ideas for future shows. It just takes us some time to get to them all. Well, that's it for now. That's all we have on the show today. Thanks for watching, and remember, spread the word. The more people watch, the more shows we can bring you. See you next time.